Good morning, friends. It's Crazy Cheap Chick. I'm having a big family dinner this weekend, so let me show you the groceries I bought. Spent a little bit more than average because of everyone coming over, but not a whole lot more. Let me show you what I got. I spent $141.52 at the grocery store today. That's after tax, and after I got them to give me a $7 refund for some things they'd overcharged me for. You really have to watch them. But let's run through it real quick what I got. On holiday weeks, they usually have some pretty good sales. I didn't pay full retail for very much. I did have to pay full price for this milk, $3.49, and this half and half, which was $5.49, and this English cucumber, which was $1.50. But the sweet potatoes were on sale this week for 39 cents a pound. They're usually like 99 cents a pound, so it was $3.20 for all of these sweet potatoes. Grapes were on sale, and they were $1.29 a pound. So it was $2.55 for this bag of grapes and $1.99 for these tomatoes. Now, they had a sign for $1.99, but they rang up $2.99, and I had to argue with them, but they honored the sign. Then these olives were on sale for $2 a can, which is less than what they normally are, because I think they're $2.49 a can normally. But they also have this great coupon on them for $1 off other olives. These bread and butter pickles were on sale for $3.29. John Wayne loves these, so I went ahead and picked up a jar because I love him. Crackers were on sale for $1.99 a box. I have been trying to avoid processed foods, but I do like a few crackers and soup, so I got 3 of them. This one is Parmesan garlic. These are just regular club crackers, and these are just regular Ritz crackers. But they do not expire until like September or August, so that's enough crackers to last us for months. This cheese was on sale for $4.99 for 2 pounds. Normally 8 ounces, the best I can find it is about $1.99 a package, and this is 32 ounces, I believe. Velveeta was also on sale. Not healthy. $6.99. That's about as cheap as Velveeta ever gets. I also got some pepperoni for $2.99, and cream cheese was on sale for $1.99 a package. I think the store brand is normally less than that, but I had a coupon, so one of them rang up $1.24 and one rang up $1.99, and so they ended up being cheaper than the store brand. Extreme Wellness, you know I love these tortilla wraps because they're so low calorie and they have so much fiber in them. And normally they're $4.69 a package, but this week they had buy one, get one free, and so it made it $2.34 a package, so I got 4 of them. This is when I normally buy my flour and sugar for the entire year, because sometime around Thanksgiving or Christmas, they always have flour and sugar on sale. This flour, which I think is normally like $4.99, was on sale for $2.49. It's good through May of 2026, so all year long. And they had other flour that was $1.99, but it expired in about a month. So I paid the $1 extra to get 2 packages of fresh flour. And then this sugar was on sale for $2.49. And I don't think sugar ever goes bad. And sugar has gotten so expensive, I think it's normally $4.49. So I saved $2 a package here, and I'm sure I saved at least $2 a package here. So when you start adding that up, that's $2, $4, $6, $8 we saved. Same on these crackers, because these crackers are normally $3.99. So now we're $2, $4, $6, $8, $10, $12, $14 we've saved. Butter was on sale for $2.99. I got a little bit of butter last week because it was on sale for $3.49, and I almost didn't buy any because I was almost sure it would be on sale this week, but not positive. And so I bought, I think, 2 last week, and then this week I went ahead and bought 2 more packages at $2.49 because they're normally $4.49. And butter lasts forever. Why wouldn't it? It's full of salt. Then I was out of sour cream. Sour cream was on sale for $2. Pie crusts were on sale for $2.50 each. These are the deep crust. These are normally, I think, $4.99. And this is a great deal this week. Dawn. This package of Dawn is normally $3.49. This week it's on sale for $1.99. I think you could buy up to 5, or you had to buy at least 5 of a combination of stuff. And I decided to get 5 of these anyway because that's a pretty good deal. I use Dawn more than anything else when I'm cleaning, and so I saved $1.50 on each of these, and it probably takes me a month or 2 to go through Dawn, through a whole container of Dawn. So this is almost a year's supply here. This coffee was on sale for $6.99. I know a lot of people are real super picky on their coffee. They have to have the Starbucks or roastery coffees. I'm not picky. Folgers is fine. And so I got 2 of these at $6.99. Then this naan was a great deal. I love naan, and it's normally a $3.49. It was marked down to $1.70, but I had a $1 coupon, so both of these rang up for 70 cents each. This little package of organic chicken was $6.19. This little package of ham was $3.35. This lettuce was $1.52. I really wanted avocados, but all of them were rotten because in Kansas in the winter, it's hard to get a decent avocado. So I ended up just buying this ready-made mashed avocado. I had this pico de gallo. It was $1.29, and it's medium, which is a little hot for me. I can't handle the spice anymore, but I can probably cool it down by adding a few more tomatoes to it. And then we had some clearance bananas for 78 cents. So what are we eating? Well, I can tell you a couple of things we're eating. I love making quesadillas out of these, so I'm sure one night we'll have quesadillas. I've got plenty of cheese, and they're easy to make, and I love them. Also, probably going to have some soup with some crackers in it sometime this week. I don't know if it'll be potato soup or what kind of soup, but I wanted milk and crackers for a basis of a soup. And one night, probably tonight, we're going to have some baked chicken with maybe some mashed potatoes and another vegetable. I'm planning on making a pizza out of this naan. These make really good pizza crust. Just put a little bit of spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce mix, cheese, pepperoni, olives, onion, whatever you like on a pizza, and it's great. Now, I still have plenty of food from last week. So imagine I'm going to take that roast out of the freezer and make roast this week as well. This is my grandma's pumpkin pie recipe. And like any good recipe, it's pretty stained up. I can hardly read it anymore, but I pretty much have this recipe memorized. So let's get at it. Now, I am cheating and using some frozen pie shells. You start with 2 cups pumpkin. Now, this isn't pumpkin. This is actually squash. It's called Crenshaw or crookneck squash. And when I was growing up, this is what we made pies out of. We never used pumpkin. In fact, the first time I had a real pumpkin pie, I'm like, what is this horrible thing? Because this is a much milder taste. So I've cooked up the squash, which is really the hard part of the pie recipe. And we're going to go ahead and add 2 cups pumpkin to the blender. And 1 cup sugar. And we're going to add a heaping tablespoon of flour and 3/4 cup milk. One of my friends just went to Mexico and she brought me back this as a gift. It's Mexican vanilla. And my other grandma, not the grandma this recipe is from, but my dad's mom, she always used to bring back vanilla from Mexico because they were Southern Texans. They went down to Texas every winter and they would go across that border and buy all kinds of stuff, and vanilla was one of them. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, and 1/8 teaspoon of cloves, which I've already got out here, and we're going to throw them in the blender. And the last thing is 2 eggs. I use the good eggs, the ones on a free-range farm not far from me, raised by my friend. And once you mix up the pie filling, it's not going to be bright orange like a pumpkin. Now, you could substitute pumpkin and make this recipe, but man, the crookneck squash is so much better. I want to make 3 pies. I'm not sure how much this is going to fill. I just did the recipe one time. These are deep dish, so probably gonna have to do this again and double the recipe in order to do 3 pies, but I just wanted to see how much it took to fill 1 pie before I did that. One thing I want to tell you is I love this blender. It's called a Ninja. I don't know what they cost. I'm sure they're super expensive. I actually won this blender in a contest, and I have a video on how I win a ton of contests. It's named something like that because I used to win all kinds of contests. I kind of quit entering them because actually I won so much stuff I didn't want. So now I only enter occasionally, and it's got to be something I want because honestly, I already own most of the stuff I want. Now on these pies, I am going to put some Reynolds wrap around the edge to try to keep that edge from burning. Probably won't work. Usually I pull the edge off with the Reynolds wrap. I kept trying to say aluminum foil, and I just couldn't say it. I managed to get that foil around there, and now I'm going to put it in the oven at about 400 degrees. It's going to take around an hour. You just have to check these things. I can't tell you an exact time. And I know they sell those rings. In fact, I own them that you put around pies. I have just never had much success with them. Maybe I don't do it right. And to be honest, I'm no Martha Stewart. Thank goodness I'm not. I bet Martha Stewart has 0 friends because she's too perfect. Who wants a perfect friend who never makes mistakes and is always showing you up? You're not going to get that with me. I make plenty of mistakes. Well, now I want to get started on these green beans, and I'm going to make them country style. And you start with a package of bacon. And I cut that bacon up, and I'm going to fry it. And I'm getting ready to cut up an onion. Look at that beautiful bacon. Now, you're going to see it's a little bit like that on the bottom. That's okay. Don't get rid of it. We need that. And I'm getting ready to throw some onions in there. I'm also melting some butter. And I'm going to cook some onions and celery in the butter for the stuffing. You know, this box always says to use water. So you want to make good stuffing out of a box, use chicken broth. That'll help make it a little bit better. Now I'm going to add all these vegetables into this stuffing also. This is onion and celery, and I'm also chopping up a yellow squash and a zucchini that I'm going to add in there. Don't usually add those, but we're going to be going on a trip here in a few days, and I'm trying to clean out my refrigerator. Now we're going to start seasoning them up. Secret ingredient is always sugar. And I can't tell you how much sugar. You can add more sugar, you can't take out sugar. So add a little bit of sugar, and then we're going to add a little bit of vinegar. Now, I know this says Heinz, but this is vinegar that I made, and it's stronger than Heinz. And so if you're using store-bought vinegar, you're going to need more than what I use. And it doesn't take very much. But this is kind of what gives them that sweet and sour taste. And then, of course, salt. Now, this isn't the healthiest thing in the world. It's got grease and bacon. Man, they taste good, though. My husband hates green beans, so I hardly ever make them. But I hadn't planned on making them today, but my sister asked me to make them, so. And then I'm going to add a little bit of just Season All. Can be any brand. I got this on clearance. Give them a taste. Pretty good. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more sugar and a little bit more vinegar and a little bit more salt. Bean spoon. No one wants mom's bit, I know. You're going to want to let them cook down for a couple of hours, and then you'll taste them right before you serve them to see if they need more vinegar, salt, or sugar. That's pretty close to perfection right there. There's that pie. See how, whenever I pull them off, they still takes off some of the crust. But it's a good looking pie. I've got my egg noodles put together, and really all it is 5 cups of flour and 6 eggs. A little bit of water, splash of water, and a little bit of salt. And then you just roll them out and cut them in noodle shapes. I think that's why we haven't made noodles in a long time. It's a lot of work. My grandma used to make these every Sunday. Yours too, probably. I may not have a beautiful tablescape, but I did spring for the more heavier paper plates. Well, friends, thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. And if you feel generous today, give me a like or consider subscribing. I'm an old lady. I'm trying to get up to 10,000 subscribers. I think with YouTube, that's really what it takes to make like a decent amount. Right now, I'm making between, well, I'll just tell you, I make about $10 for every 1,000 views. And I average between 6,000 and 7,000 views a month. So right now I'm making somewhere between 60 and 80 a month. It's not very much money. And as always, if you watch all the way to the end, I tell you a little story to delight or amuse you, entertain you, or just make you go, what? And so this story is probably going to make you go, what? That happened for real? And this is something that happened to John Wayne and I recently, and it's something I want to warn you about. We had gone down to Garden City on a job site, and after we were staying in an Airbnb, and after work, we stopped by a grocery store, and we were going to pick up some food to make dinner. Well, John Wayne has this brand new truck, and so he always parks at the very far corner of the parking lot because he doesn't want anyone to door ding his truck. And so we have to hike like half a mile into the store, and there was no one parked around us when we went in that store. Well, we're in the store, and over the intercom, they say, would license plate number so-and-so please come out to the parking lot? There's been an accident. And I'm like, oh my goodness, someone hit his truck. And so I finished up getting the groceries, and John Wayne goes out to the parking lot, and there was an old beater car, not worth very much, probably a $200 car, rammed into the back of John Wayne's truck. Now, it didn't hurt his truck, and it really didn't hurt the car either because the bumper was already all dented in, but someone had pulled into the back of his truck and then tried to claim that he backed into them. But we knew for sure when we went in the grocery store that there was no one around us because since the truck was so new, he was still being extra careful. And people are looking for ways to try to commit insurance fraud. And I think they saw a nice brand new truck owned by a company because it's lettered with our company name, and they thought it was an easy mark. It was a young girl and apparently her boyfriend, and all she did was cry and look at him scared. So I don't think it was her idea. I think it was probably all the boyfriend. And John Wayne kept saying, look, we can get the police out here and we can get a police report made, but I have cameras. And in the end, they left. When we were headed on vacation down to Tennessee this spring, someone pulled in front of us real close and slammed on their brakes and tried to make us rear end them. And it didn't work. John Wayne was able to stop even though we were pulling a travel trailer, and he did not hit them. And then they sped on up and they did it to someone else. So we watched him do it to a second person. And so they were trying to get someone to hit them. And eventually, a mile or two later, we see some police just shoot past us, lights and sirens. And that vehicle had crashed into the median. No other cars were involved, though. And so I don't know what they did. They only wrecked their car. And so there was no other car. But just be aware that there are people out there now who are constantly on the lookout trying to commit insurance fraud. Either they're going to ram their vehicle into the back of you and try to claim that you backed into them, or they're going to pull in front of you real fast and hit their brakes and then claim that you rear-ended them. That guy was driving like a maniac. He us real fast, flipped us off, and got in front of us, brake checked us, and then we got way back from him, and then we saw him almost hit another car, and then it wasn't probably like a mile later, there's a wreck, and it was that guy. So what do you think happened?
Well, you can tell he had hit the median.
People are dishonest and they're looking for ways to take advantage of you. Now, also, I received a scam email this week, and I'm going to put it up here so you can see it. This is a common scam going around right now, and I call these lazy scammers because it says that I have a package at the post office that they couldn't deliver because they didn't have enough postage or the address was wrong. I can't remember exactly how it was worded, and they were wanting me to click on a link. Well, of course, I didn't click on the link. I just deleted the text after I took a screenshot of it so I could show you. Now, as you look at this, what's your clue that it's a scam? It's actually worded really well, and all the English is good. Sometimes these are so poorly worded that you know right away they're a scam. But this one was actually well worded. But look at the phone number it's coming from. The phone number, it has a country code at the beginning, 63, I think. I used to know all those country area codes back when I was working as an investigator. I can't remember anymore. I think that's the Philippines. But that's where that text was coming from, because they didn't even bother to spoof the telephone number and make it look like it was coming locally. That's a lazy scammer, man. But I'll bet you people fall for it left and right. So don't be one of them. I also wanted to share, we're going out of town. We're going down to Augusta, Georgia. We volunteered to help with some hurricane disaster relief. So we're going to be gone for a few days. So if you don't see any videos from me, it's because I am down in Georgia working and not buying groceries. Anyway, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. First snow of the season. It just started about an hour ago. It's really adding up, though. Probably already got about an inch.